lot of things going against this movie, like I told you. We already talked about the rumors, reshoots, the date change. Well, your boy Uncle Remus. I sure wants to see that movie. I hope y'all don't have the same face as I do. But
the original mutant.
Yeah, that's a real mutant right there. A happy slave. Yeah.
We're here to get better.
You got a little bit of a nerd in you. You got a little bit of the geek in you. You love the comic books, the funny books as I call them. You love the comic book movies even. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure you've been following, and I'm sure you do too.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about the New Mutants. Now my baby knows nothing about it. She actually like, is that those turtles that the ninjas? And I was like, no, not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There are more turtles. Too. There are more mutants than turtles out there. But
X-Men.
There you go, X-Men. So, Oz, I'm sure you've been following the saga of these new mutants, who actually are kind of old now.
New old mutants. Yeah, it's been a case where they was coming out and everybody's excited about it, and for some reason it got shelved, and they were going through this whole thing with Fox and Disney trying to buy Fox and all this craziness. Yep. So they were like, "Listen, we got to put the kibosh on it. Will it come out? Won't it come out?" That was the big question.
Yep, and then all of a sudden, when we finally thought that the nail was in the mutant coffin, out of nowhere, new trailer for the New Mutants pops up. What I want to do is, I want to talk about the trailer, talk about people's feelings about, you kept up with this. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about people's feelings on this whole saga that's happened with this movie, because if you've been keeping up with it, you know it's been rocky. And also I want to talk about how, even though it's coming out under different ownership, how maybe that's not really the best thing. Maybe it should have been left alone, or maybe it should have still been in the arms of its original parents. Let's go ahead and take a look at this new trailer for the New Mutants.
I saw something I don't think she wanted me to see.
A lot of people, they were rooting for this film. They were really, they said, man, this looks like I heard this all day long. It looks like something off the CW. This looks like a TV movie. And this looks low quality. This looks low budget. I even heard this looks stupid. 20th Century Fox continues to play around with their mutant property, where they're not just superhero movies. This is taking on the tone of a horror film. And a lot of people want to give it a chance because of that. But I can't blame you if you're ready to write this shit off. I'm kind of almost ready to write it off too. I can't blame you. This was shot 3 years ago. This was shot in 2017. And after it was shot and the rumors came out and the studio was behind it, then that's when everything, as soon as it was announced, everything started to crumble, Oz. There were the rumors of reshoots, and rumors of reshoots are never really a good sign. I mean, it's not always a guarantee something's going to be bad, but more often than not, things have not really been good when they had to go through a lot of reshoots. And there were the rumors of reshoots for this. They couldn't even get that right. Rumors of reshoots for new characters. And then they went back and said that they had rumors of reshoots because, oh shit, hey, don't make it that scary now. Kids can't handle this. Remember, this is PG-13. We don't want to hit them that hard. All of this was rumors. And guess what? None of those reshoots ever happened. Not one. Don't even get me started on the dates, as Oz was saying here. There were so many, and some of them are good reasons, I understand, but I'm kind of confused as to why they would even do this. They had planned to release this in April 13th, Friday the 13th, of 2018, last year. But that got pushed back to February 22nd of 2019 because they said one of the reasons why is because, and understandably, although I don't know why you would have done this in the first place, they didn't want to go against Deadpool 2. Deadpool. So it's understandable that they didn't want to cannibalize each other with two X-Men properties. And as we all know, Deadpool, even though he's funny and he's Some people even say handsome. You know, being played by Ryan Reynolds. They say that he is a mutant. Got delayed again. Got pushed to August 2019. And the reason why I got pushed to 2019 is because they had, at the time, I believe right around that moment, they had the Dark Phoenix saga.
And what they fear.
So they did some shuffling around because that was going up against it. And it also didn't help that this movie right here was a complete piece of shit. This movie almost ruined the fucking franchise. Did you see Dark Phoenix?
No, I avoided it.
Keep it that way. What you say, you avoided it?
Yeah, you warned us against it. Why would we go against what you said?
Jesus, thank you. Somebody listens to me. I saved your life. I saved your life. I saved your life. I saved your life. She's like, I wasn't gonna see that shit anyway. But like a lot of people said after the Dark Phoenix, X-Men Dark Phoenix, they said that was so bad that, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with mutants for a while. Y'all can keep that shit. You know what? I tell you what. Call me when they start hanging out with the Avengers. That's what you can do. Call me when they start hanging out with some real heroes out there. And that's when Mickey Mouse says, you know what? That's a goddamn good idea. Mickey Mouse is like, you know what? I've been wiping my ass with all this money. Why don't I just use it to buy the mutants? Why don't I just buy them? In fact, you know what? Why don't I just buy that whole Fox? Just buy most, if not all, just about all of the studio. Disney said, we'll take it and we'll do it right, because that's what we do at Disney. We take things and make them right. Well, they f***ed up Star Wars, but you know, other than that, they say, hey, all right, hey, you know, space.
Marvel Studios is different.
Yeah, hey, we know superheroes.
Yeah.
You know, that Star Wars shit, we give you that. Okay, we that all up. All right, all
They
right.
destroyed that.
Yeah. Well, we'll work on that, but we know superheroes, and we'll get these dudes right. A lot of people thought when they bought the movie, because that came with the package. You know, this is a 20th Century Fox film. They thought that when they bought the New Mutants, that was just gonna be shelved. Mm-hmm. That was never gonna see the light of day. And Mickey Mouse said, "Fuck that! I don't shelve nothing."
See, is that already past production?
Yeah. Unless Uncle Remus is in that shit, I don't shelve nothing.
Can we put it on Disney Plus? No. Theater.
Yeah, theater. We gonna make. Hey, look.
We gonna make that money.
Yeah, even if it's just pocket change, they gonna make that money.
It's gonna
with
make
it.
money.
We don't waste nothing.
Nothing at all. Disney, I love how people thought that a fully made movie was just gonna get shelved by the big mouse, when it has put out Wonderful Classics like A Wrinkle in Time. And felt nothing wrong with that. They aren't afraid to pull out some crap.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying cap as you guys. I thought it would have been a Disney Plus thing. I thought it would see the light of day in some form or another. You know, the fact that it was all shot and done with actors that, you know, CW-ish, but, you know, there was some, you know, credible actors in there. You know, homegirl from the Game of Thrones, you know, she's still pretty hot in these streets. It was definitely, in my mind, I definitely thought it was going to come out in some form, some medium. They couldn't shelve that.
Yeah.
And the whole superhero thing is still hot. So why would you do that?
Yeah. You know, I got to be honest with you. It was something that that I'm kind of back and forth on. There's a lot of things going against this movie, like I told you. You know, we already talked about the rumors, reshoots, the date change. Well, your boy Uncle Remus. I sure wants to see that movie. I hope y'all don't have the same face as I do. But
the original mutant.
Yeah, that's a real mutant right there. A happy slave.
Yeah.
But also, I tell you, it doesn't help that this movie was also scripted by somebody named Nate Lee. And if you don't know Nate Lee, I had to look twice to see who that was. That's the person that's responsible for writing that Halle Berry Hanging on a Car movie.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Stop!
Almost had him, too. Come on.
Just sit her ass rolling. Get off my car. But,
oh, no.
Yeah, there was a lot of things going against this movie, man, as you guys can see. But Oz, I got to tell you, baby, I got to tell you. TJ, I got to tell you, despite all that, for some reason, I'm still rooting for this film. I know. Look, it doesn't look great. I know that you don't see a whole lot of production going on, but I think that there's a reason for that. Y'all are used to seeing these big blockbuster X-Men movies. This is more of a horror movie. And as we know, horror movies, if done right, it's not about the money. In fact, the more money you throw at a horror film,
The worse usually gets, actually.
Yeah. Once you start adding all kind of,
Blumhouse does it best.
Oh, thank you, Lorog 98. Thank you for the subscription. Yeah, man, you start adding a whole lot of money to horror, and I think you kind of start to take away from it. Now, I know they got to put some effects in here because they're mutants, but I don't mind them scaling back. I don't mind them having a lower budget for this, for that. It looks interesting, in the good sense.
I'm totally with you on that. Like, my problem with the trailer is more so kind of the way that it gets near the end, where it seems like spectacle-esque. They're throwing a lot of effects on the screen. I actually really liked the way that it started off, where I was like, okay, it's like you can see that they're throwing in some mutant stuff, but they're keeping it pretty tame. They're just showing little hints of that, and they're kind of trying to make it very much like a Spook House.
And then at the end, it kind of turns into a full-fledged X-Men movie.
Like
Flame On. And
slowly built up to that, but they got like real spectacle-esque in this trailer, and that's what I didn't like.
It makes sense. I definitely agree with you. As I'm watching the trailer, it seemed, because when you first saw the trailer, it seemed like it was a dead-on horror. No left, no right of it, with a little bit of mutant stuff going on, right? And the way this was cut, it seemed as though they had some horror elements that they're trying to make seem like you're going to watch The Exorcist or some shit.
Yeah.
Right? But as it's going on, like, wait a minute. That's right. These guys have power, so I'm not scared for them at all. That horror element, kind of leaves the scene for me, at least, the way this trailer is cut. You know what I mean? So I'm not as nervous as I was from the first trailer that they showed, or even first half of this trailer. I felt nervous for these kids figuring out what they're gonna do. But as the trailer went along, I was like, okay, they're gonna be all right. And this guy flaming on, they're gonna be all right.
Yeah, that's the only thing that you can really say.
All right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing you can say about a horror superhero movie is like superheroes. They fight horrors all the time. He'll be fine.
And see, that's why I like the start of this, where she's like, hey, they're fighting things in their mind, which is like the one area that you can't superpower your way out of.
Yeah.
And so they have a good setup. That's why I said there's a lot of there's things I like at the start. It's just that when it starts to throw money at the screen or lack thereof, it doesn't that's not what I'm very akin to in this trailer.
Yeah, even with the horror stuff, I mean, I don't think they're giving you a whole lot to go by, which is in the trailer. Look, sometimes that can be good because you don't want everything thrown at you.
You don't want the scares in this.
Nah, but then again, I can understand people who say, I just need more, man, because really in the trailer, all you see is a bunch of Spook House stuff. And they even got they got a laughing door.
Yep.
And Satan's behind this.
Got mysterious liquids, burnt hands.
Almost makes me regret. I know no one wants to question Disney, man, because Avengers, they did almost the impossible with it. They made history with a superhero film. So nobody wants to, our series of films, nobody wants to go in and question their business sense, their logic, their decisions. But I will have to say, man, when I say almost makes me regret that Disney bought it, because Disney is, I'm not saying that everything Fox did is good. I know. I mean, we went through some of these things. We know, but Disney they won't do something that Fox is willing to do. Fox is willing to take chances, man. I doubt that you'll see, with one exception, I doubt that you'll ever see another rated R MCU property like Fox did it. Now this man's gonna be the exception right here, Deadpool, because they know that these fans will lose their shit over Deadpool. If they
Ryan
don't do
Reynolds will lose his shit.
Yeah,
over Deadpool.
Oh yeah, Ryan Reynolds he'll dress up like Deadpool and shoot up everybody at Disney.
Actually, I feel like that's why they can't question him. He'll just do it himself.
Yeah, he'll dress up like that. There'll be a mass shooting with Ryan Reynolds, man.
So true.
He'll be on the news. Ryan Reynolds is dressed like Deadpool and shooting up Disney.
Hundreds dead.
Mascots all over the place. They'll let Wolverine who started out PG-13. They'll let Wolverine go and slice and dice and chop up and do all these things all he wants to, man. They'll let him slice up all kind of robots and aliens. But if it's real blood, no. If you got purple blood, slice away. If you got wires under your skin, that's cool. Or if you don't bleed at all. Because Disney, sometimes they'll go out of their way to make somebody not even bleed without any kind of explanation. Do you remember when Thor sliced off Thanos' head?
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Cauterized.
Like, I like the way nobody questioned at the time the physics of this. I know it's aliens and shit, but really there was something weird about that.
Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
Did you know, like, he just corduroys the wound right there? It's like nobody was covered in green goo and shit. Everybody should have been in the room like, what did you do? You got this shit all over me. This shit did not happen at all.
Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
You wasted no time.
That was a clean cut.
That was way clean. Look, I don't know, maybe it's because he's using a magic axe. I don't know. But the real reason is that Disney ain't gonna show no blood at all. Yeah. Because it'll be a while before we see Logan go crazy like he did under Fox Studios, man. Fox was willing to take chances, man. And that's the only reason why I was really looking forward to this movie coming out, because I was just rooting for them, because they were not only playing with the ratings of movies, going into rated R territory, which Disney ain't gonna do unless they are really forced to with something like Deadpool, unless they really know they ain't gonna make no money, because that's why they're doing it. They know that if Deadpool is not rated R, they're taking a risk, and Disney's all about money. Disney will make a snuff film if they get enough money for it. Yeah, all about money. But I was rooting on this movie not only because of not only because Fox takes chances with ratings, but because they take chances with different genres. I always appreciated that the mutant movies, sometimes they were straight up comic book movies, sometimes they were comedies like with Deadpool, or you had Logan, which was somewhat of a very violent, dramatic Western, man. And
that was a good thing about Fox. They didn't try to play catch up when everybody else was when DC was trying to play catch up with Marvel and trying to do all these different cinematic universes and tie everything together. Fox was like, Dad, we can't do that, so let's just put that out. All right, let's put that out. They didn't try to link everything. They just made movies, and I thought that was good. It was a change of pace from the quote unquote Marvel formula. You know what I mean? And it was definitely a change from the train wreck that DC was trying to do. So it was good.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
And they're not afraid to use their toolkit, like to pull out something like New Mutants, where you're gonna get a horror genre, and you're gonna use a lot of the faces who nobody would really know in this one, right? Versus, and like with how the X-Men I think that's naturally lends itself to having so many genres, right?
Yeah.
Where they're just like, hey, like we have all these different guys' characters, so you might not see, you don't need Wolverine in a comedy, right?
Yeah.
You can use him for his own Western, things of that nature. So they're playing with their toolkit, they were having fun, and I'm actually with you in the camp of like, that was one of my favorite things with Fox. They always seemed like no matter what, they weren't afraid to put it out.
You never would have got Logan if it was at Disney. I'm not trying to shit on Disney and be a fair weather fan of Disney. I'm just saying, man. There's something to be said about the creative freedom that they were trying to do that you won't see, man. And that's why I'm glad that this movie is actually getting a release. It might not be good, but I'd rather see something that they tried to take a risk on, get a fair chance, instead of just being put away.
For all intents and purposes, I do want to see this movie. I think it's cool. The horror elements, I want to see how much they play that up.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm very curious. That's another thing. I'm just curious. Some people are even more hopeful than we are, man. Some people are so hopeful that they are wondering. And I want to get people's opinions on this, and that's why I'm gonna pass it on to you guys out there, the Toasties. A lot of people are wondering if these characters will be, if this is successful enough, if they would be in the MCU, one of the first mutant properties to be in the MCU. If you want my answer right now, I highly doubt it. Read my teeth. I highly doubt it.
You look scared.
She said, "You look like a mutant." I highly doubt it.
I think once this comes out and if it does well, you'll see them in the MCU, no problem. Yep.
Yeah. My whole thought is like, I'm gonna pass this on to you, TJ, and baby, you can come in too. I don't mean to ignore you, but I know you don't know a whole lot about it, but you can say some things. My whole thing is, it's just me. Do you really think a movie this troubled with the past that it has. Do you really think they're gonna let these little ragamuffins right here be the jumping off point to the MCU before they do Wolverine?
I feel like, where the mouse might step in, where Kevin Jesus himself might come in, is like, hey, he might edit the ending or some sort of scene to make it open to interpretation. And honestly, I'm a little more so in the camp of you're a hard 95% no. I'm a 75%. Yeah. My 25% yes just believes that one of the reasons why they could utilize this is just due to these being teenagers with powers. They don't have a lot of younger heroes.
Yeah.
And so anything to kind of equip them in their tool camp is really good.
Marvel plans all this shit out.
They plan it way ahead.
They plan
to a T.
This is a property that was planned on another studio, and if it was not part of the plan. But then again, it all depends on the writing and how you put it in there. They can do anything they want to, really. Like Oz says, money talks, bullshit walks.
Yeah, if it does gangbusters, there's no way in hell that Marvel won't throw them into the MCU. And then even that, I feel like this movie has a better chance than any of the Netflix shows ever did. So.
That is true, man. Daredevil ain't gonna do shit.
Daredevil can't do shit. At least these guys got powers.
Yeah.
Will they use this movie as a jumping point to start a brand new thing? No. If it does very well, they'll bring them into the fold and mention things that probably happened in this film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But they won't take this setting and let these guys run with it. No. They'll bring them in, and spin them around a bit and then make them fit, if it does what it's supposed to do.
Bundle up with some shirts from dtmerch.com. Look at that. You got all the hats. You got the sweater. Wear socks when you got your slides on. I'm going to get some DT socks one day for you.
And your beanie.
Get your beanie right there, hey, don't get a cold head out there. Get that DT Scully.
Get hot coffee on that mug.
Get your cocoa, your hot coffee, that mug, and a lot more. Go to dtmerch.com and get yourself something. Bye.